During the late 1970s, American band Happy the Man distinguished themselves with back-to-back albums of symphonic jazz rock crystal clarity. And from their second album, the 1978 release Crafty Hands, the track I Forgot to Push It. Okay, so we're basically going like up half a step. We're like in F sharp or yeah F sharp, G, and da 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 da. So and then yeah, kind of like moving up half steps. Yeah, F sharp, G, F sharp, D, like that. Notice how refined each of the instrumental interjections is. It's like we've got several instruments doubling up on notes, and yet each one of them is so clean. It's like we've got Frank Wyatt on flute, saxophone on this record, Kit Watkins on he's credited with harpsichord, Moog, clavinet, and recorder on this record. Yeah, and then Stanley Whitaker on guitar, 12-string, Rick Kennell on bass. One's kind of like doubling up on the cadences, like and that horn is just going kind of like Change of cadence here, kind of more breezy. Now we're getting really convoluted with the layers. I like that section we just went through, that kind of change in cadence, because this has been like a very choppy piece for the most part in the middle. Well, now the choppier bits have been taken out. Now they're having these more kind of fluid runs play over the yeah, the tonic, the underlying like rhythmic component still has that gallop to it, but the soloing has changed. Let's see. We're hearing, I guess, Stanley Whitaker and either Wyatt or probably Watkins and Wyatt just kind of interacting over this section here. But we've definitely got some very refined guitar work from Whitaker. He really clips his notes. I gotta say, the tonal clarity on this is just immaculate, especially for an American band of this time period. Although it was produced by English producer Ken Scott, who was a state-of-the-art producer engineer from the time period. He worked with Elton John, Pink Floyd, Procol Harum, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Supertramp, Kansas, The Tubes. He would later work with Duran Duran, Level 42, Devo. Instrumental in the development of jazz rock. Worked with the Dixie Dregs, who also had a very clear sound that where note like just note perfect interjections, like where you could like follow every single instrument. What can I say but just a really catchy, very clipped instrumental track by Happy the Man from the album Crafty Hands. The track I Forgot to Push It. Let's hear another one. Kind of open book, one that shows more their tranquil side. This song, like the last one, they're doing a half step. I like how they're able to put so much melody just between like two adjacent notes, like two adjacent tonics anyway. Like here they're going A to B flat. Now they're in F. F major 7, I should say. Maybe it can. D minor. Now this little folk section right here, there is no way they could have really gotten here from what we were hearing earlier had they not had that pivot section, that change in cadence. That just made all the difference. Very tasty, kind of Celt influenced little section. I wonder if they wrote it individually and had the other part written individually, the main part, and then they had those lying around, and then they thought, oh, let's try to put these in the same song, right? And then the challenge was to find a section to like pivot between one or the other. And I believe we're hearing some harpsichord right there by either Watkins or Wyatt. And of course the recorder, giving it kind of a sound somewhat similar to gryphone in this section. Open cadences, but with like sounds kind of interjecting. 5/4. There's a major seventh right there. E flat major seven. A flat. Lots of flats and sharps in this section. There's a pressure drop going on in this section that makes it serve as like the perfect midway between the section we just heard and then the folky section. That was Happy the Man with the track Open Book from the album Crafty Hands, released in 1978. And the second of two to be released in their own time, although they would record a third that wouldn't be released for another few years. Kit Watkins soon thereafter left this band for Kennell, and then put out a really good solo album in 1981. Yeah, he appeared on I Can See Your House From Here by Kennell, the Rupert Hine produced 1979 release by that band. And I think he was a heavy influence on the track Ice, the 12-minute instrumental that closes that album, which I've always thought sounded more like Happy the Man than Kennell. Anyway, yeah, there were many bands that were utilizing that this kind of instrumentation on the stateside scene in the late 70s, and were combining the influences of symphonic rock, jazz rock, but none really managed to develop something as unique, distinctive, original. I mean, there was really nothing to compare this to in terms of the tonal clarity, the attention to detail, the nuances. I guess one of the most ineffable things that they managed to achieve is they managed to be intricate without sounding so busy. Like, because bands of the time period tended to either be really fast and dense in their filigree laden passages, or they tended to be much more simplistic and just kind of basic. And this band is like neither. they're kind of like an island unto themselves in that way. Yeah. For more Rubies and Sapphires from the Happy the Man discography, see the directory of albums by American maximalist artists linked in the description below. Like and subscribe and follow me on the other social media on the Omni channel. I've just set up a DTube, so I'm starting to upload more of my videos over there as well. And leave a comment if there are any observations you have about these two tracks, the layers, the complexity, the harmonics of it all, the instrumentation, and until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled maximalist, signing off.